What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I want to do a quick video right now, and I'll probably follow up later on with another video. And so today I want to talk about the CPI score. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. Okay, so people on Social Security are now starting to receive their increase, the COLA increase. We've been talking about this for the last several months, and now we're going to see the CPI score on Thursday. So we need to pay attention to that score. And I'll do just like I do all the time. I'll let you guys see what the score is, and then we'll look at some of the different categories to see how low the percentages are starting to drop. We're hoping that everything drops. The anticipation is that we'll see a drop because in the last several months, we've seen inflation start to decrease, which is great. And so our CPI score should reflect that as well. And so we're going to be paying attention to find out if that is true. And the categories, that's what's important, because when we look at the categories, not the overall, let's say CPI overall is 7.1%. I want to know what the categories say. I want to know when I go to the grocery store, am I paying more or less than I paid a year ago? That's what's important. Am I paying more or less than I paid a month ago? That's what's important. And so that's what we're going to focus on Thursday. I'll put out a video and we'll talk about that as well. But I just wanted to remind you guys, that is what we're going to be seeing in the very, very near future. So we'll find out that information, and let's just hope that it continues to drop. If it continues to drop, that dollar gets stronger and stronger for people on Social Security and retirees. And that's what we're focused on. Because in 2022, people on a fixed income, it was tough for people on fixed income because inflation continued to rise. And so now that it's starting to go down, this is great. And hopefully there'll be good news on Thursday, and we can continue the next few months seeing inflation continue to decline. And what the Federal Reserve wants to do is they want to get inflation at around 2%. So they have a long way to go. We're going to have to see what the Federal Reserve does, if they're going to raise interest rates anymore, or if they're going to come off the raising of the interest rates just to see what inflation will do. And so hopefully we don't have to see any more raising of interest rates, because basically we don't want to fall into a recession. And right now, if inflation can drop on its own and we don't have to continue raising interest rates, that would be ideal, or raising interest rates anymore, because we've raised it already and we continue to raise it. And so we don't want the Federal Reserve to go too far to drop us into a recession. And so I just wanted to do this update here so you guys know on Thursday, CPI score will be coming out. I'll be coming back to let you guys know exactly what's going on when it comes to that. If you guys have any questions, and I did have some people that mentioned some questions on my last video, so I'll answer a couple of those questions now. But if you have any other questions, post them down in the comments below. But when it comes to, and I talked about Social Security and potentially seeing cuts, and people were asking me, well, if I've applied for Social Security, or I'll be getting Social Security in 4 months, will this affect me? And basically what I told them, watch that video that I posted yesterday, because it'll give you some more details. However, what I've been telling people, first off, there's nothing on paper. You just have politicians that are talking back and forth, and they're saying we want to raise the age limit for full retirement. And we don't even know what that age number is, because we don't have that information. And so nothing is on paper. We just have politicians that are talking about, this is the way that we're going to address the trust fund. This is the way that we're going to allow for Social Security to remain solvent. And that's by raising the full retirement age. And so that's what some politicians want to do. Some other politicians are saying, no, we don't want to do that. And so that's what we're looking at right now. We don't know the details. So if you're 4 months out and you're going to be receiving Social Security in 4 months, I would say you're probably safe, because this is probably not going to take place until, if they try to move on this, it's probably going to be in the summertime. That's when they're going to try to move on this. When I say move on this, I mean the politicians that want to raise the retirement age, they're probably going to try to move in the summer, because that's right before this whole debt ceiling debate. And that's what they're going to use in order to try to get this done. And so another question that was asked, well, in the House, you have the House, they have to vote on it, but the Senate also has to vote on it. And you are correct. The Senate does have to approve it, but what the House will do is they'll use the debt ceiling, and we're probably going to go in default. If they can't agree upon this without us going into default, then we'll go into default. And then once we're in default, now the Senate is going to have to act. and the Senate was going to have to do something. They're going to have to negotiate back and forth with the House and try to figure out, okay, what is the, how can we meet in the middle and all that, because we can't be, if we do go on default, it's going to tank our economy. And the longer we're in default, our economy will tank even more. And so something will need to be done. And you do have some politicians in the House that they don't care about what happens. They don't care if we drop into a deep recession. And the Senate has always been looked upon as the upper chamber, or the more mature chamber, I guess you can say. So they're going to have to deal with this, and they might have to give in. And that's unfortunate, but we might see them give in just because you have a reckless House. Or let's just say if we default on our loans, then yeah, that would be a reckless House. So you have a reckless House, and then you have a more mature Senate. They're going to have to try to figure something out. And so that's the only way that the Senate would be forced to actually move forward with cuts, because the House is pushing them that way because of the debt ceiling. And so hopefully that answers that question. If you guys have any other questions, like I said, post them down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.